Today we are going to talk about multiplying polynomials. How do you multiply two polynomials? We are going to use what we call the arrow method, which is the same as distributive law. What we are going to do in this method is that we are going to draw an arrow from each term on the left bracket with each term on the right bracket. And then we are going to multiply every two terms which are connected with an arrow. Let's start with one example here. Suppose we have two polynomials, 3x minus 1 and 2x minus 1, and we are supposed to multiply them. Again, I'm going to draw the arrows from the first term to the first and second term of the second bracket, and from the second term to every term on the second bracket. Now 3x times 2x is going to give me 3 times 2 is 6x squared. 3x times negative 1 is going to give me negative 3x. Negative 1 times 2x is going to give me negative 2x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is going to give me plus 1. Now, we have to simplify these terms. 6x squared, there is no like term to 6x squared. So, 6x squared is going to be left as 6x squared. But negative 3x and negative 2x are like terms because they have the same variable with the same exponent. So I can add or subtract them. Negative 3x minus 2x is going to give me negative 5x. And the only term which is left is plus 1. So I'm going to left with the trinomial 6x squared minus 5x plus 1. The next example we are going to do are going to be the product of two binomials, which we then have to subtract them. The process is exactly the same as before. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to expand x plus 7 squared, x plus 7, into the next bracket, which is x minus 3. So I'm going to draw the arrows from each term on the left bracket with the terms in the second bracket. Now, the other product I have is 4x plus 3 times 2x minus 1, so I'm going to draw again the arrows from the first bracket to every term in the second bracket. 2 is going to stay outside at the moment, but x times x is going to give me x squared. X times negative 3 is going to give me negative 3x. 7 times x gives me plus 7x. And 7 times negative 3 is going to give me negative 21. That's going to be the product of the first two brackets. The second bracket, still I have a negative between them. 4x times 2x is going to give me 8x squared. 4x times negative 1 is going to give me negative 4x. 3 times 2x gives me 6x. And 3 times negative 1 gives me negative 3. Now we are going to deal with 2 on the left of the first bracket and negative on the left of the second bracket. So I'm going to draw an arrow from 2 to every term inside the first bracket and negative to every term in the second bracket. In practice, before we do that, we are going to simplify the brackets first, then we distribute the terms inside the bracket because it's going to be much easier. But at the moment, I'm just going to distribute them. 2 times x squared is going to give me 2x squared. 2 times negative 3x gives me negative 6x. 2 times 7x gives me 14x. And 2 times negative 21 gives me negative 42. Negative 1 times 8x squared gives me negative 8x squared. Negative 1 times negative 4x gives me 4x plus. Negative 1 times 6x gives me negative 6x. And negative 1 times negative 3 gives me plus 3. Now we are going to simplify the terms by combining like terms. 6x, 2x squared and negative 8x squared, they are like term, and I'm going to get negative 6x squared. So these are gone. Negative 6x plus 14x plus 4x and negative 6x are all like terms. So let's add them up. Negative 6x plus 14x gives me 8x. 8x plus 4x gives me 12x. 12x minus 6x gives me plus 6x. So these are gone. The only one which is left is negative 42 and plus 3, which is going to give me negative 39. So after expanding all those 4 brackets, I'm end up with a trinomial negative 6x squared plus 6x minus 32.